Welcome to Daily Conversation. This is Mr. K.
This is Eric.
Yeah, today is the 10th of August 2021 and the time now is 6:16 a.m. Well, today our topic is, would you like to be famous? In what way? So before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so here we go. Okay, so for this topic being famous, I think firstly, to me, I think most of the people actually uh, more or less like the feeling of being famous. Yeah, but at the same time, we don't like the price of being famous. Yeah, the feeling of being famous, it can give us something like the uh, acknowledgement and then maybe some sense of achievement maybe and then yeah, just for example, it's like maybe you post something on Facebook and then you get the like and then you get the share, people share your post. Yeah, I think this is naturally we will have some maybe pleasure to see we get many likes or shares. Yeah, and then um yeah, this is one part. I think people like being famous, and then for being famous, yeah, there are price to be famous. All right. Firstly, everything of our life will be kind of magnified. Yeah, this very small thing maybe become a very big issues, and people talk about that becomes maybe become a news. Yeah, and then for this one. Because people will have good news and bad news, and then normally bad news travels fast. Yeah, so this is one of the bad things to people who are famous. They want, I think they also don't like their bad news to something like to spread. Yeah, so people only like good things to be seen by others. Yep. So yeah. So in this case, maybe they also need to pay attention or maybe put efforts and time uh, on managing uh, their image. Yep. And then um yeah, this is basically what I think. And then on the other hand, I think being famous actually has some uh, benefit with it. One of it is the marketing purpose. Yeah, if one guy being famous, yeah, and then because people follows him, peoples will try to um wanted to know this person. So at the same time, he actually has the uh kind of marketing resources, so he can make use of this and maybe turn this into monetary terms, monetary returns. Yeah, and then yeah, maybe one example is YouTuber. Yeah, I think YouTuber they not all, but I think most of them wanted to be famous, wanted to get many subscriber, and then of course that is directly linked to their maybe income. Yeah, but like I said, the feeling of being famous will have some uh, benefits, which not only monetary and also will have the mentally benefits like the sense of achievement, the acknowledgement, yeah, something like that. And then this is for marketing purpose. And then some other people, they also playing some tricks. They want to be famous. Yeah, and some of them actually trying to create some fake news so that he can get some uh, publicity, and then that is for its marketing purpose. And yeah, the objective behind is to make money to promote something. Yep. And then next, I think if you are famous, uh, because you are rich, and then yeah, this for this one, this may not be uh, something so good, uh, because I think in that case you are rich, and then you are uh, I mean you are in a higher risk. Yeah, especially in country like Malaysia, unless you move to other countries like Singapore, it will be comparatively safe. Yeah, and then uh, if if you're living in Malaysia, I think you had better keep low key if you are famous because you are rich. Yeah, so at the end, would you like to be famous? In what way? I think um, for to be famous, in my eye, to be famous, it is not so easy. I mean, because I think for one person to be famous, let's say for YouTuber, maybe he need to has a lot of subscriber, maybe 1,000. I don't think it is famous. Uh, Maybe they need something like um close to 1 million, and that is famous. Yep, and then also for Facebook, maybe you if you can get a few thousand K likes, I also don't think that is famous. Yeah, maybe famous need to be above 10K of likes on average of your every post. Yeah, so uh yeah, so maybe for me, I don't think I need to be famous. Yeah, and yeah, not I don't have uh uh an opinion or thinking like I want to be famous or I dislike famous. Actually, quite uh um neutral. Yeah. So these are my sharing today.
Yeah. The thing is, do you think a famous person definitely is a wealthy person?
Um, Definitely no, but um, mostly I would think.
You know, one of the broadcaster in
Mm.
Malaysia few months ago, uh, she was found that she involved in the gambling.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
know her.
Mm.
Mm,
And you can say she, uh, she, she's wealthy,
mm,
she's rich. But if a person is rich, why she need to like borrow money from other people, a few thousand? Mm. And uh, and the most interesting thing from the whole case is not about the gambler to me.
mm,
It's about the broadcaster message her friends and borrow money. And the money they borrow is like few thousands.
mm,
And other broadcaster, some of them will lend her money, but some of them will say, yeah, I also don't have money like that.
mm. Yeah.
And okay, yeah, of course, if somebody want to borrow money from you, you also will say, I don't have that much money. I don't have money. Yeah.
Yeah.
But but I believe some of them really don't have that much money. Yeah. Even though they are famous. So they couldn't get out a few thousand easily.
Yeah.
So maybe you can say their income level is high, but if they want to maintain their famous status, they need to spend money.
Yep.
So what you can see is they spend quite a lot from their YouTube video, and they let you see that they are rich. So this is so they can build their image, but actually they don't have much saving. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and as we know, income minus expenses equal to your saving. So high income doesn't mean that you have high saving.
Yep.
And also low expenses, low spending also doesn't mean you have high saving. But definitely if you have high spending, the probability of having high saving is lesser. Yeah, because you need a higher level of income to offset in order to get your saving the net.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, the key thing here is a famous person, not necessary, and not necessary would be the rich.
Yep.
And you will see most of the famous guy, they are not in the Forbes top 100 or top 500. And most of the people, most of the wealthy people in the Forbes 500 or Forbes 100, you just know few names on the list.
Yep.
But most of them you don't even aware
Who they are.
Yeah. So we need to like separate the famous and the rich and the money. So you can say famous is something like you gain some authority, you gain some power from this internet, from the social media. And money is a real money. So this is the reason why when you ask somebody or somebody asks you, you want to be famous, do you want to be rich, you definitely will say, I prefer rich, I prefer become wealthy rather than become famous.
Yeah.
And if somebody let you choose these two in betweens, you definitely will choose become rich, right?
Yeah.
And if you already become rich, then you are given a choice, which is you can become even richer, or you can become famous. I think not all, but most of people will choose become even richer. Because when you become when you are rich, famous is actually not a good thing. And you need a higher cost to maintain, to support the status. First, you need to like spend in the marketing, and second, you need to you need to spend money in security.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a key factor. Key factor here to consider about being famous. Yeah. Yeah, if you misunderstand the benefit of being famous, then your decision definitely will go to different directions. Yeah, and so okay, so what are the benefits of being famous? First, we know we can earn money from that.
Yeah.
And second, you may say, yeah, you have higher level of self-esteem because you do some things and other people pay attention on your doing,
Yeah.
and people will follow you, and people will concern your movements. So yeah, you have a self-esteem. But this kind of self-esteem is like mm, your confidence level and the self-esteem that have been built is based on other people. Yeah. And actually self-esteem have three types. The first type is the uh okay, I forget the name of the first type, but the second type is the in interdependence.
Okay.
Sorry, let me repeat again. The self-esteem has three types. The first type is dependent self-esteem. The second type is interdependent self-esteem. The
Yeah.
third type is unconditional self-esteem. Yeah. And the first type dependent self-esteem is your self-esteem is actually depends on other people. How other people view you, how other people see you, how other people talking about you. Mm. And second type of the self-esteem, which is the interdependent self-esteem. This is your self-esteem level is determined by other people and you. So not only other people and also from you. For example, you are doing something. Okay, let's say okay, you are a teacher and you are teaching something to students. For the teacher who are who have the dependent self-esteem, the teacher will try to teach those things which allow the students like the teacher, or maybe they'll teach some things which make the students feel that they have learned something. Okay, so the students like teacher. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the teacher enjoying the sense of accomplishments from the students.
Okay.
So yeah, it doesn't mean that the teacher will only teach the easy thing or the teacher will only teach the difficult thing. Or maybe the teacher also the teacher can the teacher like to say something very complicated and then make the student feel this teacher is very professional. So the key here is the teaching of the teacher is like try to gain more uh, try to gain more tensions and gains more respect. Yeah, and from the teacher talking and from the teacher teaching style is like this. Teacher want to gain the respect. The teacher want to gain the attention. The
Yeah.
teacher want to get the students like. Okay, and the second type of the self-esteem, which is you not only you on you uh the self-esteem level is not only derived from the other people and also derived from yourself. Okay, for the teacher who have the interdependent self-esteem, they'll think, yeah, uh, what thing Yeah. What I really want to teach. Yeah. So the teacher not only teach something, they will they'll let the students like teacher, and the teacher may also teach something that make the teacher itself like like themselves more. So you can imagine this is something like a sharing.
Yeah.
The teacher like to do the sharing, okay, but it doesn't mean that the teacher will teach something more important. It doesn't mean that. Just it just means that the teacher enjoy from their teaching. Yeah, they like to teach the thing. They like to teach the thing. They don't care. They don't care how well they're teaching. They, and they don't care how many people they can help. They just enjoy the teaching. Mm. And this is a part. This is a part that the self-esteem derive from derive from the teacher itself. Yeah. But in the dependent is from both ways. Okay, it's from both ways. How much portion we don't know. Okay, so you can like categorize like higher level of interdependence. That means you are more interdependent, or you are less interdependent. So you can you can see the type 1 and type 2 have some relationship. When you more to the when you are more near to the type 1s, you actually depends. You actually more depends on other people. If you are more on the type 2, you are more depends on yourself. And the type 3 is unconditional self-esteem, which is you don't care what other people think about you. You just enjoy what you're doing. And also, even though this is something that not done by you, but other people, by done by other people, you also feel happy.
Oh.
For example, you are teaching a subject, and let's say it's a mathematics, and you try to teach the student well. Yeah, and teach the student well doesn't mean that you want to gain attention from them, you want to gain confidence from them. Yeah, it's because you just want to teach them well. Yeah, this is from yourself. Yeah,
Okay.
so this is from the inner. Yeah, so this is more to the interdependence, and you also can say, yeah, I want to uh teach them. I want to teach them um, know how to use many ways to solve the same questions. Yeah. So, for example, maybe for one answer, for one question, you have many answer. You have many solutions. Sorry, you have many solutions that can lead you get to the same answer. So, it depends from how it depends it it depends on where the self-esteem level generated. Yeah, it can be any way. So let's assume the self-esteem level, the unconditional self-esteem, is generated from teaching student become better. Okay, and if you see other teacher can teach the student better, and you're happy with that. Yeah, and you kind of like want to learn the methods. Or maybe you feel or you'll feel happy. You'll feel happy because somebody can teach the student well. Okay. Okay, let's say make another example. Let's say you are writing a book. You want to publish a book. The 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 author who have the dependence self-esteem, they are focused on what the reader like. Yeah, what the public like what kind of book, what kind of book style. They're concerned about that, and they'll write the book that fits, that suits the reader, a reader needs.
Mm.
And second types, the interdependence. The author will also consider about that, but the author will also consider what he or she really want to write, what he or she really want to deliver, the message. Yeah. And for the unconditional self-esteem persons, they just want to write. Yeah, they just want to write. Maybe they have one idea and they just want to write out. And got people want to read, or got many people want to read, or no one want to read, it doesn't matter. They just want to write out the book. And if the author found that this actually is a book which is which already write the thing, explain the thing more detailed, more comprehensive than his or her writing, than his or her book, and they'll feel happy. The author will feel happy. Yeah. So it's something like that. The self-esteem had three types.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that the people can only have one type, and this self-esteem is actually can be different from different tasks. For example, from teaching, maybe you have the interdependence, self-esteem, and maybe for let's say from cooking, you have dependence, or maybe from other things. Let's say from exercise you have unconditional. You don't care other people how they see you. Yeah, even though your posture is really weird.
Yeah.
But of course, many people is different. Yeah, so the self-esteem, is different. Is different from the expect, and no one. There's no one don't have dependent self-esteem. Yeah. Yeah, because we and okay, the unconditional self-esteem is better than interdependence, and the interdependent self-esteem is better than dependence. Yeah, but no one will only have interdependence and or unconditional self-esteem and don't have dependent self-esteem. Yeah, there's no one there's no one who like this exists in the world. Yeah, you more or less will have the dependent self-esteem on some aspect. Yeah. But the key here is we need to practice to become interdependent, and then eventually become unconditional self-esteem. And you can find that this unconditional self-esteem is quite similar to the self-actualized persons. Yeah, and actually, yeah, they are not same. They are not the same thing, but they are similar thing. And if you are self-actualized persons, you most likely unconditional have a very high level of unconditional self-esteem in many aspects. Yeah. So by standing from this self-esteem perspective, you can see if you do something because you want to be famous.
Yeah.
You do the thing is because you want to be famous. So let's say the reason I do A is because I want to be famous. So what is this? It's actually dependent self-esteem.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what if you are doing something. You're doing something because you really want to do. You really want to do that.
Mm.
For example, I really like teaching. Yeah, and after you teach, after you spend money on that, and people start to pay attention on you,
Yeah.
because you gain some success, you gain some respect. Yeah,
Mm.
but you don't care. You don't care about that. Even though no people respect you, even though no people notice you, you're still doing the same thing. So in this case, uh, you are in the interdependence or on unconditional self-esteem category. Yeah. So in this case, even though uh, you are famous,
Yeah.
but you are not because you want to be famous, so you do something. Yeah, because you do something specifically to become famous. So this is a different thing.
Mm.
Yeah, so you can say this is something like active famous or passive famous.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, if you are okay, if you are famous and you don't need to do anything, and you don't need to do anything, I think most of people want this kind, uh, want want this kind of famous because they don't need to maintain the famous,
Mm.
so the cost will be lesser. And how about the how about other disadvantage of the famous? Mm, yeah, and yeah, uh, and because this is a very um, realistic assumptions, which is if you are rich, you try to be private, you try to hide your existence, so that you will have less problems. You have uh, you are less likely in a danger. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, rich people, it depends. It actually depends. But um, I think okay. uh, it actually depends. Uh, what you want to pursue. Yeah. If you're pursuing don't need the public involved, don't need the involved of public,
Yeah.
and that it make no sense. It makes no sense for you to gain the attention from public. So this means it makes no sense for you to become famous.
Mm.
Yeah, and you try to and you try to not grab the attentions from other people. Yeah, even those like the Jeff Bezos, like the Bill Gates, like the Warren Buffett, they don't want to be famous. This is the sub product. This is a sub product of their success. But they didn't try to market themselves. They don't try to like put many efforts in marketing themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. So if you ask me the questions, do you want to be famous? I will say
Mm.
no. I don't want to be famous. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. In okay, I will say in all ways. Yeah. In in all ways. Mm.
Yeah.
This is for the active famous. Yeah, this is for the active famous. And for the passive famous, I would think yeah, it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. You can be famous or you can not to be famous. This is indifference. But the but the mm, but the most dangerous things is you couldn't monetize your famous after uh if you become passively famous. Yeah, if you couldn't monetize the famous and you already rich,
Mm.
and that means you need to spend some money, maybe maybe to keep privately, or maybe to protect yourself. Yeah,
Mm.
so this is another cost.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm. Yeah,
All right.
so this is about sharing.
Mm. Yeah, I like the concept that you share uh, just now, which is the self-esteem one. Yeah. I think we can say that people that they are most of the aspects of their life is belonging is belongs to the dependent type of self-esteem. They're more likely to enjoy being famous.
Can you repeat?
Okay. Um, I think for people who are more uh, who belongs more to dependent type of self-esteem, maybe in many aspects in their life, they're more likely to enjoy being famous.
Yeah, you can say like this. Mm.
Mm, yeah. And then just now you also mentioned that being famous, you need the money and maybe time and effort uh, to 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 take care of your image. And one thing I mean, I can give an example, which is the in Malaysia, you can get that title, right?
Mm.
Yeah, and then for this title, it's not easy because every time if somebody, let's say, is one of the organizer of a particular organization, want to maybe uh, to have some event, and then maybe they want the uh, people to support financially. Yeah, and then they try to contact you, and then you have to do something because you have the title. If you don't do that, and that actually hurt your image.
Mm. But,
Yeah.
how about uh for an unconditional self-esteem persons, they don't care
I,
about the image.
mm,
Even
yeah.
though maybe they become passively famous. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
but they don't try to maintain it. They don't try to manage it.
Mm.
If they can become famous, so uh, yeah, so it's okay. And
Yep.
if the public no longer focus on their movement, then it's also okay because they
Mm.
don't care.
Yeah. Yep. Mm.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, but
So.
this, of course, this is not for the people who pay money to buy the dark blog status. Mm,
Yeah. Of
person
course,
who
people
the
buy
person
that they want to maintain, right?
so this is totally dependent. Mm,
Yeah.
their job, or they want to use this to earn more money.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the key point here is being famous is something relate to dependent self-esteem. And dependent self-esteem, uh, you can say is uh in long term, if you only have the dependent self-esteem, you less likely will be happy. Mm. Because uh your self-esteem is depend on other people.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
You have this is okay, and self-esteem level and your happiness level have a very positive correlations. So I mean have a positive and high correlation. So you can say a higher self-esteem level persons
Mm.
more likely uh, will be a happy person, and
Mm.
low self-esteem level persons most likely they are unhappy persons.
Mm.
But if a person's pay too much attention on the dependent self-esteem, in long term, they probably won't get the happiness because this is not long-term thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And for the interdependent and unconditional, this is actually the self-esteem that we need to pursue.
Mm.
And because the main reason here is it relates to our happiness level. Yeah. If you have higher self-esteem level, your base level your base happiness level most likely is higher level.
Mm. Yeah.
You enjoy the thing you are doing, you are passionate on that, and you like to spend your time on doing the thing, and you are willing to put yourself on the line, you are willing to take challenge to cross the obstacle to become more successful
Mm.
in the particular specific area. And you less like and you spend very little times to maintain mm, the external things, which is
Yeah.
something that you couldn't control. For example, other people uh, view, other people comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most of the successful persons, they don't care other people view. For example, the famous writer, they want to write something that benefits the reader. They
Mm.
don't try to grab their eyes. They don't try to like add in a very interesting story
Yeah.
to
Suit their
make the
appetite.
to make the reader keep continue to read the
Mm.
book. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just write something they think is important. Hmm. And they want to delete and the message they want to deliver to the public.
Mm.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. For this example, let's say he's a writer, and then let's say he is in between, wanted to be dependent, uh, self-esteem type of person or the independent type. And in terms of getting maybe more readers or higher uh, monetary returns from this, um, uh, isn't that being uh, I mean choose to be dependent self-esteem type of person will kind of easier to get more money.
Hmm. uh, but where the happiness you gain from?
Yeah, yeah. This is from two aspect, right? One side is whether you focus on the monetary return, and one side is you want to get both, right? Monetary return as well as you enjoy what you do, something like that, right?
If some people don't if nobody willing to pay for your writing and nobody willing to buy your book, will you still continue to write? For dependent self-esteem person, they definitely wouldn't continue to write, right?
Mm, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the key difference between dependent self-esteem and interdependence of unconditional self-esteem persons.
Mm,
Yeah, because you are doing something you really enjoy. You really enjoy. Yeah.
yeah.
And don't forget the success formula. Success equal to hard work plus passions
Mm,
plus the belief, the optimism, the optimisms. Yeah. So uh, in long terms, you you actually need to find out the thing you really, really, really want to do in your life. Yeah. What's the things? It doesn't matter.
mm,
Yeah, maybe you just want to cook. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Or maybe you want to like
Drawings.
yeah, yeah, drawing. It doesn't matter. So uh it's not it's not something like you need to do something to get money.
Mm.
Mm, yeah. Because happiness level is uh after you cross the poverty line, after you cross the poverty line,
Mm.
and money factors uh in a, mo- a, mo- money is not the key factor to 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 have the long term happiness. Mm. So
Yeah.
always can say that uh after you cross the poverty line, or maybe even 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 more than that. So after you have the basic, after you fulfill the what's it called, the basic need,
Mm.
the physical needs, and
Yeah.
let's say and also the safety need. Mm. After you have achieved these two in the Maslow hierarchy, so money doesn't contribute to happiness uh, more. Doesn't contribute to the long term happiness more.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So anything else?
Yeah. So one more last thing to confirm with you about the three types of self-esteem. Let's say if I am aware, I started to get aware of myself being being dependent type of self-esteem in a particular aspect,
Mm.
and uh, is the awareness the key to help us switching from dependent type to interdependent, or we need some other things?
Yeah. Good question. Good question. This actually this actually you are trying to ask how to improve ourselves from the dependent self-esteem to the
Mm.
interdependence eventually become unconditional self-esteem
Yeah.
person, right? Yeah.
Mm.
And the lecturer shared a story. The first times he know about because this idea is come from the positive psychology lecture. Mm.
Mm.
In the lesson, the lecturer say that the first time he know about this self-esteem uh, theory,
Yeah.
and what he trying to do is, because he know, in this area I'm dependent, in this area I'm dependent. So he
Mm.
try to solve it. He try to do something, but actually it make it worse. Yeah,
Oh.
it make yourself more dependent. Mm. So you need to accept that. You need to accept it. Yeah,
Mm.
give yourself the permission to be human. Mm. Yeah,
Mm.
accept it, and then you keep doing that. You keep doing, and then at the end, you will slowly shift from the dependence to the interdependent. Yeah.
Mm.
So you really need to. So the key point here is you really need to find out what is the thing you really 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 want to do.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is the key thing.
Yeah. Not because of others, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
And okay, and one of the analogy is like this. Um, Now everybody know how to walk. Yeah, and an adult know how to walk. But when
Mm.
they are the baby,
Yeah.
they don't know how to walk. Mm. And they will feel to stand up. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. So but slowly slowly they start to learn how to walk, and
Mm.
then after they learn how they have learned how to walk, they'll feel happy.
Yeah.
They'll like show it to their parents, to other people. Yeah, you
Mm.
see, I can walk. I can walk
Yeah.
already. Mm. So why is this? This is dependent.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, but of course, uh, when you start learn how to walk, you still will fail. Sometimes you will fall down,
Mm.
and also maybe you want to try, the run, and then after you try how to run, after you try the running, and then you fall down again. So it takes time for you to master the skill of walking.
Mm.
And after a few years, you don't care how the uh uh okay maybe after 6 months or maybe after 1 year, and you can walk very smoothly. Yeah, and of course maybe at that time you are still a kid, maybe you are 3 years old, 4 years old, and
Yeah.
if your parents appraise you, yeah, you walk really good, you run really well, and you also feel happy, and you also will enjoy that. Yeah, but after a few more years, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore.
Mm.
Yeah, so this is the analogy.
Mm.
So the key here is just accept that, and try to find out what the thing you really want to do.
Mm. Yeah. So it's something like the focus has changed, right?
Yeah,
Changed from being uh being sensitive to others people opinion or view, and then after that you started to focus on other things you really like. You have the passion on that.
and uh you also can get one's uh logic here is, yeah, this is just a logic.
Mm.
uh one of Once the people know how to walk, sorry once the people achieve the unconditional self-esteem, or achieve the interdependent self-esteem, it's more likely for him or her to achieve the interdependence or the unconditional self-esteem in other areas. This is
Mm.
just like learning a skill. If
Mm.
if if you are good at learning skill, so the skill of learning some things is also increased. So you are not only gaining experience of the particular skill you have learned, you also acquire the learning skill, how to learn
Mm.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So uh, if you have a lot of expect if you have a lot of expect already achieved the unconditional self-esteem,
Mm.
and although in some aspect you are still dependent self-esteem, but uh, at this time you want to train the dependent self-esteem to the interdependence to unconditional self-esteem
Yeah.
in the new area. You are more easier to do that.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
No, I think that's all for my talking.
Okay, so that's all for our today conversations. How do you feel? Did you enjoy the conversations? Please tell us what you think of our conversation. And we are not native speakers. If you found any vocabulary mistake that we made, please also comment to let us know, because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to like, subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.